Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome back to the D2 Audible cheat sheet. When we talk about marketing in wine, WSET is not trying to turn you into a marketer. What they're doing instead is giving you a shared language for understanding how wine businesses make money or fail to. A useful place to start is with the definition WSET itself anchors to from the Chartered Institute of Marketing. Marketing is the management process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying consumer requirements profitably. Every word in that sentence matters. Marketing starts with identifying the consumer, not guessing, not hoping, identifying who they are, what they want, and just as importantly, why they want it. And in wine, what consumers want is rarely just liquid in a bottle. They may be buying reassurance, status, belonging, value for money, sustainability credentials, or even the idea of future financial return. Effective wine marketing focuses on delivering that experience as much as the wine itself. The second part of that definition is anticipating. Consumer preferences do not stand still. They shift with income levels, demographics, culture, health concern, and fashion. A wine business that only reacts once demand has changed is already behind. Anticipating change allows businesses to adjust styles, packaging, messaging, and routes to market before competitors do. And finally, marketing must satisfy those requirements profitably. This is where WSET draws a hard line. Marketing is not about visibility for its own sake. It is not about awards, social media likes, or beautiful labels unless they ultimately contribute to profit. Marketing campaigns cost time, money, and resources, and they are only successful if they generate adequate profit within a defined time frame. From that definition flows the marketing process itself. Because marketing touches every part of a wine business, WSET stresses the need for a clear shared marketing strategy. This strategy is usually described as five connected stages. First, the business must be clear about the product or brand being marketed. This might be a single wine, a range, or an entire brand identity. Second, the target market must be identified. Not everyone, not wine drinkers, but a clearly defined group with shared needs, behaviors, and price expectations. Third, the business sets objectives. These objectives must be specific and measurable, such as increasing volume, increasing average bottle price, entering a new market, or repositioning a brand. Only once these foundations are in place does the business devise the marketing strategy itself, often referred to as the marketing mix. And finally, the strategy must be implemented, monitored, and adjusted. The textbook is careful to note that this process is not always linear. Target market, objectives, and strategy constantly influence one another, particularly in fast moving or competitive markets. A critical analytical tool introduced in this chapter is SWOT analysis. SWOT is used to assess how achievable a specific marketing objective really is. And that word, objective, is crucial. Without a clearly defined objective, SWOT has no meaning. A factor can only be judged as helpful or unhelpful in relation to something you're trying to achieve, i.e., the objective. SWOT separates factors in two ways. First, whether they are internal or external to the organization. Second, whether they are helpful or unhelpful to achieving the objective. Internal helpful factors are strengths, Internal unhelpful factors are weaknesses, external helpful factors are opportunities, and external unhelpful factors are threats. One of the reasons WSET values SWOT is that it forces realism. It asks whether there is strategic fit between what the business wants to do and what it is actually capable of doing. If there is a mismatch, the analysis helps identify whether the solution lies in investing new resources, developing new capabilities, or choosing a different objective altogether. Resources are the tangible and intangible things a business has access to. In wine, this could include vineyard holdings suited to a particular style, production facilities optimized for volume or quality, reliable supply chains, access to skilled labor, or an established reputation in key markets. Capabilities, by contrast, are what the business is able to do with those resources. This might include building and managing brands, scaling production up or down, innovating new products, or navigating political and regulatory systems. External factors are analyzed through opportunities and threats, and WSET encourages the use of the PESTLE framework to ensure nothing important is missed. Political factors, the P in pestle, are especially significant in wine given the role of taxation, regulation, subsidies, and in some cases, prohibition. Economic factors, E, include exchange rates, inflation, recession, and consumer purchasing power. Social factors, S, cover demographics, cultural attitude to alcohol, generational shifts in preference, and labor availability. Technological factors, T, can reduce cost or improve quality, but can also erode regional distinctiveness as techniques become widely adopted. Environmental factors, E, include climate change, land use pressure, and sustainability concerns. And legal factors, L, or which also includes regulation, affect both production and trade, sometimes restricting choice, but sometimes reinforcing perceptions of quality and integrity. What matters for exam answers is not listing these factors, but explaining how they help or hinder the achievement of a specific objective now and in the future. The textbook closes by bringing a SWOT back to decision making. A good SWOT analysis helps determine whether an objective is achievable at all. If it is, it helps guide where investment should be directed and how risk should be managed. And sometimes the most valuable outcome of a SWOT analysis is the realization that an objective is unrealistic. Excuse me. Prompting the business to pursue a different, more achievable goal. That ability to connect analysis to decision making is exactly what WSET is looking for. Not marketing jargon, but structured thinking that explains why some wine businesses succeed and others quietly disappear. I hope this helps anchor your D2 prep and gives you a way to think about marketing answers with confidence. I'll see you in the next episode where we move from marketing theory to the product itself and start unpacking what makes a wine a brand rather than a commodity.